Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to a new playthrough on the channel. We're headed back out to the Azores from Portugal as we are playing Amerika Bomber, Evil Queen of the Skies by Compass Games. For those of you who aren't familiar with Amerika Bomber, this one has us in an alternate timeline of World War II, where the Germans have actually won the war, and now they're turning their attention to the U.S. mainland. There's also a game for the U.S. side called Defending America, Intercepting the Amerika Bombers, as Dave's Tabletop Gaming is first to join us here in the Azores tonight. As I was just saying, Defending America is the reverse of the Intercepting the Amerika Bomber, where in that game we're in the U.S. interceptors going after the aforementioned Amerika Bombers. Whereas this one, we've got our ME-364 Amerika Bomber. We've got Grim, who's all set and ready to go. The bird's been fueled. So, let's jump right into this mission. First thing we need is a target. And that brings us to the Amerikanische Celeste. My German is absolutely horrendous. But what we need is a target for April to June 1947. So we're going to roll our 2d6s. We're going to roll them APA style. Black is going to be our 10s. White is going to be our ones digit. And a 12. Uh-oh. I just got a glance at it, so we are headed on a special mission tonight, which means we need to see 6.2.5. I'm used to being sent out in a bomber, being used to send out a bombing run, but I don't think we're going on a bombing run tonight. So we've got a special mission. If it's rolled, roll a d6 to determine which one. So we have... Okay. Let's see. So special mission objectives are defined below. If the special mission objectives are not met, the mission's a failure regardless of any bombing that occurs. If the mission is a success, mission is a success as well, regardless of bombs dropped. So we have... Let's see, so we have to roll... So roll a d6 to determine which one. I was expecting there... Okay. So it looks like we've only got the 3 special missions. So we've got a roll of an Abwehr agent delivery, a leaflet drop, or a strategic reconnaissance. So the way we're going to roll for that is 1, 2. We're going to roll a d6. On a 1 or 2, we've got the Abwehr agent delivery. 3 or 4, we're dropping leaflets. 5 or 6, we're doing strategic reconnaissance. And I'll roll for which one on the leaflet drop and the reconnaissance that we're doing if those come up. That's a 4, so we're doing a leaflet drop once I find my pen. We've got another d6 roll for that. A 1 to 2, we're going after New York. 3 to 4, we're going after Philadelphia. 5, we're going after Boston, all of which are in Zone 5. And 6 is going after Chicago. So, of course, we're going after Chicago. Okay, so we have no bombs in this mission, and the chaff dispensers have been modified to eject the leaflets. So one thing to note is if the chaff dispensers are damaged before we can drop, the mission is considered a failure. Oh, that's fun. We'll encounter anti-aircraft upon reaching the target city, before and after the drop. Okay, so I thought I had a sequence of play. There we go. Okay, so we move out to zone... So we're moving out to zone 1. We start having encounters in zone 2. Or possibly having encounters. That will be a roll on the interception chart. So that'll be a 2d6 roll, and we'll sum these dice. That's an 11, so that's 2 P80 shooting stars. So I'll grab out my 2 P80s. Once I find where they're hiding in here. Oh, here we go. So there are the 2 P80s, but we also have consideration of fighter-friendly covers, or friendly fighter cover. Say that 5 times fast. Since we're in Zone 2, we get to roll on a... Since we're in Zone 2, we get to roll on a 1 to 5. We remove 1 American fighter. Actually, we got to figure out where these are going first. So we've got our 2... We'll roll a D10 for the approach, and the D6 for level, or for the altitude. Our first P80 is going to approach 9, so that is vertical climb. And then for our second aircraft, it might be a little bit hard to see, but I do have my position chart up active over here. As for the second one, that one is coming at us from approach 5, so 9 o'clock, level. So I'll grab out a chit for 9 o'clock level. Now we get to roll for friendly fighter cover. On a 1 to 5, we get to remove 1 of these fighters. On a 6, we don't remove anything. That's a 1, so I think I'm going to take away the 1 coming at us from 9 o'clock level. The reason I'm going to take that one away is we only have 1 round to worry about this one from vertical climb anyway. So we're probably going to end up being... So that'll probably be the lesser of 2 evils here. So that one is removed by friendly fighter cover. There we go. Okay, now what can actually hit? Is there anything that we can do to hit at vertical climb? That's approach 9. We do have the ventral turret that we can aim at it, which we will. Ventral turret with an attack power of a 6. So we'll roll for our attack there. For vertical climb, we need a 5 or a 6 to hit it. Thankfully, he does as well. And I do have to designate I think I have to designate an aim point, don't I? It's on one of these charts, I think. No, I don't actually. So for our attack... Actually, the way I'm going to roll this is we'll need a... Right, okay. So I'll use the white die. It's been a little while since I played this, so I'm kind of refreshing my memory on the fly. I'll use the white die to determine the hit, and then with a firepower of 6, I'll use the black die for the result. That's a 1, so we didn't hit it. We would have destroyed him anyway. As for the P80 at vertical climb, it needs a 5 or a 6 to hit as well. That's a 3, so it will miss as well, and it'll fly off. As I mentioned, combat is only 1 round for anybody coming at us from vertical climb. So that's something. Apologies for going a little bit quiet. I'm just making notes I've got a logbook that I'm keeping off camera. Now into Zone 3. Let's see what we're encountering here. Zone 3 for an 8. That's no contact. Which now we're actually into our unfriendly territory. Because now we've got no fighter cover to help out with any of these. In Zone 4, A 10 is 2 F8F Bearcats. So I'll grab the 2 F8Fs. There they are. We'll bring the position chart back in shot. We'll see where the first one's coming at us from. That one's coming at us from approach 4 level. So that's actually 3 o'clock level. So I'll grab a level chit out for that as well, and that can impact what guns we can potentially aim at those. And the other one is coming at us from the same place. Delightful. Which is good and bad, because it means we can aim. It means we use the same gun, so we run that one out of ammo a little bit quicker. Hopefully that's not going to end up being a problem, though. So they're both... So we've got... That's approach, what do we say? 4 level and 4 level. That's a problem. Which means we'll have to aim the same guns at both of them. Do we have anything that can even hit that? The top turret... Yeah, the top front turret we can use at one of them. Unfortunately, they're both going to get a shot at us. That's the bad news. The good news is they hit it on a 5 and a 6, and so do we. So we'll roll first. That was a terrible roll. And now the first F8F Bearcat. So that is an ammo from the top front turret. So now the first one thankfully doesn't hit. White is for the hit, is for whether it hits or not. Black is, I believe black is going to be how many hits. Now for the other one, that one is going to hit, and it's going to score 2 -1, so 1 random hit. And the way we're going to roll for the hit is, I don't know if you're familiar with the Hunters, Dave, and how they handle a lot of things in the war game world. This is actually by the same designer as the Hunters. We'll be rolling on the damage charts, also in APA style, to get where the hit's going, and then depending on what we roll, there are subcharts that we might have to go to. So we use the same D6 APA style that we did earlier. 21 is a tail hit. Oh dear. So the tail hit is sending us to the tail subchart. 10 is tailplane random. Uh-oh. So we've got 2 tailplanes. Let's see what effect that is going to have. Let's see, tailplanes roll randomly for port or starboard. Place a damage marker per hit at the damage threshold. Landing modifier is +1. If both tailplanes reach the damage threshold, the plane is lost. Delightful. Alright, odds, we're hitting the port tailplane. Evens, we're hitting the starboard. Odds, we're hitting the port. So that's going to get we'll give that a 1 damage marker. Now they're both moving into medium range. And we're going to use another ammo from the ventral turret, actually from the top front turret. So I need a 2 chit out for that. Same roll as before. Still need a 5 or a 6 on the white die, which we don't get. We would have flattened it anyway. Now for the first one, not a hit. Second one, also not a hit. That would have been problematic if that black die was a 5 or a 6. Now everybody will move into close range. And another ammo from the top front turret. For our attack, we actually hit and one is damaged. They're both breaking off after this anyway. Right, yes. Firepower of a 6. And to damage by bombers, yep, 1 to 3 is damaged. So they're both... So this is the last round of combat for them anyway. Let's see how bad the damage is going to be in our direction. That's a miss for the first one. And the second one, so thankfully they both miss. We'll be heading into Zone 5 momentarily once I get the interception map all cleared off the table. Or all cleared off. There we are. Level. Get that out of the way. And then we'll move into Zone 5. See what we're encountering here. That's a 5. 2 more P-80 shooting stars. So we'll bring that back in shot. We'll grab our P-80 shooting stars. You guys will probably enjoy me cussing and swearing with going after these two bombers, with these two fighters tonight. Let's see where the first one's coming at us from. That one's coming at us from approach 8, which is actually 9 o'clock. Which is actually 6 o'clock high. So high. Grabbing my pen. And the other one is coming at us from approach 7. So that is approximately 7:30 high. Joy. So they both managed to get on our tail. That's a problem. Let's see. So what can we even aim at either of those? Approach 8. And they're both high, so we can't use the ventral turret. The tail guns. Yeah, we'll have to aim the tail guns. I think the tail guns are the only thing we can aim in either direction. Which approach is going to be easier to hit on? Because I want to focus on that one first. Yikes, they both take a 4 to a 6. I might as well focus on the one at approach 8 first. So yeah. So we've got 8 high and 7 high. So I only get one attack. That's from the tail guns, which also have a strength of 6. So we need a 4 to a 6 to hit, and then hopefully a 4 to 6 on the black die to take them out. Which that is absolutely nothing good happening for us. So let's see how the first one does. We'll roll for the one from 8 o'clock high first. Or from 6 o'clock high first. That's approach 8. That one will miss. And then the approach 7 high. That one will hit and do P80 is 2 random hits. One, 2. 62 is a... Uh-oh. Actually, I think we're considered to have no bombs on this mission, right? No bombs. Okay, so that's a Bombay hit. But that's a very fortunate hit because in this case, actually we have to roll. Actually, I take that back. We have to roll on a subchart. But at least it won't just hit the bombs. 9 Bombay doors, which I believe would take the bombing run. That's not what I want. Bombay doors, they're jammed shut. Fortunately, we don't have bombs in this mission, so nothing to worry about there. So for the second hit, .32 is minor damage, so that one will walk off. Just going to update my logbook. Coming at it from medium range, so they're both going to move in closer. We're going to stick with the tail guns on the one from approach 8. So that's going to turn into a 2 on the tail guns for the ammo. Let's see what we do with the approach 8 P80. Nothing. Wow, my gunners can't shoot to save their lives. We'll see how theirs get on. So once again, we're doing the one from approach 8 first. Another hit, but only one hit this time. Let's see what he does. 25 is another Bombay hit. Again, thankfully, there are no bombs on this flight. And 11 would be the bombs, but since there are no bombs, we treat that as minor damage. Because remember, we're on a mission, we're on a leaflet drop mission, and we have no bombs on this plane. So let's see what the one coming at us from approach 7 is doing. Nothing. That's a little more welcome. Then coming into close range. Let's see how we're getting on in this in close range. Still can't shoot straight to save our lives. These dice are cursed, I swear it. Let's see how they're doing. So first, once again, we're looking at the P-80 coming at us from approach 8. Oh, that's a hit, and that's 6 random hits. This is going to hurt. The only question is, how much? Let's find out, shall we? Let's see, 56 is a weapons hit. Let's see, weapons. 8 is going to be knock out the port waist, but I don't think this plane has port waist guns. It does not, so because it doesn't have guns, port waist guns, we get to treat that as minor damage, thankfully. Next hit. 41, that's an electronics hit. Electronics. A 4 is knocking out our landing aid. That could be trouble. That is the, what is that? The FUG 125 landing aid, which I wonder if that's something that's only on more advanced planes. Because if that's something that's only on more advanced planes, we might dodge one, but I think it's just referring to the... I think it's just referring to our landing gear. Yeah, that's what I'm getting out of that. So I think that is just our landing gear that's been knocked out. Okay. We've still got 4 more hits to roll on this, and we're still not even over Chicago yet. This is going to be big trouble. 51 is another electronics hit. Five is the emergency transponder, which I think... Oh, there is a landing receiver on here. Never mind. Let's see, that can't translate to anything good, though. Landing is -1. If hit, this die roll modifier is lost. Okay, so what did we say there? 14. Actually, I think that was a 5 for the emergency transponder. Let's see, the emergency transponder. Yep, that's out as well. That's probably going to make it harder. So... Oh, here we go. If hit, roll for water rescue is -1. So that makes it harder to survive if we end up going swimming. And still 3 more hits on the first one. We haven't even gotten to the other one yet. 32 is minor damage, so at least that's welcome. Then 45 is a starboard wing hit. So wing hit. 7 is minor damage. Okay, that's welcome. And our last hit, 14, is another electronics hit. Let's see how bad this one is. That's a 5. We already got the transponder knocked out, so we can't knock it out a second time. So that'll serve as minor damage. And now this plane is finally done. So now we get to roll for this P-80. Hopefully the roll won't be nearly as catastrophic as that first one was. 4 is still enough to hit, but that's only 2 hits. Although to borrow a line from 6th grade sex ed, once is enough. Only 1 hit is needed to really ruin our day. A 24 is a tail hit. Let's see, tail hit. 5 is a port elevator. Which doesn't seem likely to do anything good. So the port elevator. Let's see. I don't think it explains. Oh, here we go. If both of one type are hit, are all flaps landing modifiers +1. So we've got a second hit to roll on that other plane. A 16 is a nose hit. I don't know how they. Well, maybe they got over top and got a nose hit. They are coming at us from high after all. 12. Oh dear. Oxygen pressure. That sounds like a lot of trouble. That sounds like it's probably going to just abort. Must descend after the current wave of fighters. Oh dear. Anti-aircraft gets +2 random hits. And we've got to take both our rounds of anti-air yet. So we've got to drop. Yeah, we're in a lot of trouble. So they break off, but they did let's call a spade a spade. They did a lot of damage. We've got no chaff going into this, and we're taking 2 more hits coming as we have to fly down for anti-air. Yikes, yikes, yikes. We are in a lot of trouble. Okay, so we are in Zone 6. We've finally gotten over Chicago, but we've got, like I said, we've got a big problem. I think we still have to roll for an encounter like normal. Yep. So we still have to roll for an encounter before we even talk about any of the bombing that we're doing, or the leaflet drop. No whammy, no whammy. 2 more P80s. That's a whammy. So we need that right back in shot. We need the 2 P80s back out. And I really wouldn't mind these 2 coming at us from vertical climb and or vertical dive in some combination, because I really don't want to deal with 3 rounds of these 2. Especially not the shape we're in. And of course we get 1 coming at us from approach 5 level. So we'll grab a level chit for the first one and take it up to approach 5. As for the second one, it's okay. One of them is coming at us from vertical climb, so that's fortunate. Which will only be 1 round of combat. Let's see what we can do here. So coming at from approach 5 level, we can use the top front turret. We can use the top front turret against that one. Can we do anything about from vertical climb? We'll have to use the ventral turret on vertical climb. Otherwise, I think that is it. So yeah, we'll go ahead and look at the one from vertical climb first from the ventral turret. Alright, so round 1, VT for ventral turret. For that approach, we need a 5 or a 6 to hit. That would have been a great time for my guys to be able to shoot straight, but of course, they can't. Now for the top front turret. Let's see what they're doing. From approach 5, they also need a 5 or a 6. Which they don't get on the white die. Also a miss. Fantastic. Alright, so we'll start off with the one from vertical climb. As I mentioned, it needs a 5 or a 6 to hit us. And they've actually got a package of damage that they do. Of course they hit. Jeez. So the random package they do, is they do a random 1 hit each to random wing, airframe, a crew hit, Bombay, electronics, and a random hit. Joy. That's going to be fun. Alright, so the wing hit, we'll use the D10 to determine which wing they're aiming at. Odds they're going for the port wing, evens the starboard. They're going for a port wing. And a 3. Uh-oh, that's a port engine. Okay. So a port engine. We've got 3 of them there. So we'll roll a D3 for that, which is another D6. And so 4, it's going to take out engine 2. Oh, this is totally going well. Then the airframe hit. Look, oh, that's just a count of how many hits. Everything seems like it's good. I inadvertently stepped on the power cord, so that's an airframe hit. Then for a crew hit, we have to figure out who's affected first. An 8 will be a random gunner. And I think there should be a star for that. Looks like we roll random for which gunner we're hitting. Oh, roll a d6. Okay. So we roll a d6. We'll roll white for who's affected, black for how bad. Okay, that's hitting the ventral gunner for a light wound. He'll walk it off. Oop. Now for a Bombay hit. Bombay hit on a 2. Once again, bombs is minor damage because we don't have bombs on this mission. For an electronics hit, a 6 is minor damage, so that's a bullet... Well, I was going to say bullet dodge, but it's not completely yet because we've still got our random hit that we've got to deal with. 32 is minor damage. Okay, so that one we dodged. As for the P-80 coming at us from approach 5... Also a hit and does 4 hits. This could go very catastrophic very quickly. Let's see how bad it gets. 33 is an airframe hit. Tracking that on the plane. 66 is a starboard wing hit. Three is knocking out an engine. And we'll do D3 for that as well. That's a 2, so it'll take out the one closest to, that'll take out the one furthest out. Our third hit, 46 is a weapons hit. Three is knocking out the top front turret. Which the top front turret, that being out, now makes us a sitting duck for which approaches. Top front turret is, actually that makes us a sitting duck in quite a few places. That's unfortunate. Our last hit for that one, 46, is another weapons hit. Seven is minor damage, so we get away with one. Alright, so the one at vertical climb breaks off. And actually the top front turret being out now makes us a sitting duck right here, unless we got something else that can aim at approach 5, and I don't think we do. Let's see, we don't have left waist guns. Tail guns can't touch it. Ventral turret, it would have to be low. And the nose guns can't touch it. So yeah, we are a sitting duck here. We're a sitting duck, no two ways about it. Let's see how bad it's going to be. 2 more hits. Fantastic. $15 is another bomb. They've been light. They really like that Bombay hit this mission. 7 is minor damage, though, thankfully. And their second hit, 53, is minor damage. Then coming into close range, we're still a sitting duck. They, however, are very much not. That'll be one hit, thankfully. .54 is minor damage. So not completely nothing, but still enough of a catastrophe on the other hits to put us in deep water, as the case may be, or as the old saying goes. So now that brings us over the target, and we've got a lot of trouble on our hands here. Actually, I need that back in shot. So first we need to roll for anti-air. We need to see how heavy it's going to be. So we're rolling a d6 for that. 1 to 2 it's light, 3 to 4 medium, 5 to 6 heavy. That's medium. That's medium anti-air. So that means we get a -2. Actually, we got a -1 die roll modifier. There's no jamming we can do here, and we're not at 10,000 feet. So I think we are 2d6 random hits. Actually, I think we had to come down to 10,000 feet. So yeah, we're taking +2 hits. 6, that's 8 hits total. Actually, that is going to be 6, 8, 7 hits. So that's called trouble. We've got 7 hits coming at us. Assuming we survive all of this, we should be able to drop the leaflets. So let's see how bad these hits are. 41 is electronics. Eight is the radio. Let's see, the radio is out, which will also cause us major league problems. What is that? The FUG-29 radio. I feel like that got knocked out already. Actually, it's FUG-29 radio. Okay. So that's going to cause us radios inoperable for the rest of the sortie, no mayday call, and water bailout roll is -4. So that's going to make it harder for us to survive. Joy. Our next hit, 25, another Bombay hit. It could still hit the chaff dispensers, which we don't want to see happen. 6, though, is minor damage, so we walk that one off. Although we're probably not walking this off as a whole. 34 is a nose hit. A 9 on a nose hit is the bomb sight, which will most likely make the run automatically off target, but again, we don't care about bombing. I think as long as we survive this, let's see, it's not really explaining the, bomb sight. If hit, bomb run is automatically off target. So yeah. Oop. There we go. We've got 4 more hits to resolve in all of this. 42 is a port wing hit. 8 is one of the flaps. So I believe if all of, what did we say with the flaps? If both of one type are hit, or all flaps, landing modifiers +1. Somehow I don't think we're landing this bird. I'm not betting on making it back to the Azores with this thing. 34 is another nose hit. Let's see how bad that's going to be. Boxcars is oxygen pressure again, but that's already been knocked out. So essentially we can't have it knocked out a second time. 25 is Bombay again, jeez. Bombay 4 top turret is now... Actually, the top turret was already knocked out. And our last hit is a 64, another weapons hit. A 7 is minor damage, though. Okay, so after we survive the anti-air, I think we do just... We have no bombs, and the chaff dispensers have been modified to eject the leaflets. Okay, so we do... It looks like we do still drop, but we're automatically considered to be off target. Because we had the bomb sight knocked out earlier. So I think we do still roll for the drop. Let me check in the rule book, but let's see. Bombing procedure. Conventional bombs. It doesn't tell me if the... So it's automatically off target, so I think we do roll to see how many of the leaflets get anywhere close to Chicago. So we want a high roll because we're off target. That's not going to be high enough roll. That'll be 0%. So we can drop. Okay. I'm just looking at something here. Let's see, special missions. The special mission objectives. Your mission is a success as well. Okay, so yeah, it looks like since we were able to drop, the mission is considered a success, but we take another round of anti-air before we get to turn ourselves around and head back for home. So we're looking at... So once again, we got to figure out how light or how bad the anti-air is. This time it's heavy. Now that we put something down. So heavy is going to give us a straight... This is going to turn this into a straight roll. And we weren't able to do any kind of... So we're taking 2 more hits from this. 9 plus 2 is 11 hits. Yikes. I think we're going to discover... I think we're going to probably invent Swiss cheese via the Amerika Bomber in this case. Let's see how much carnage those pesky Americans want to inflict. Spoiler, it's probably going to be a lot. Another airframe hit to start with. We may have just come to the end of Grimm's Road, in all honesty, because I'm probably going to have to bail out of this thing. And bailing out over enemy territory is a pretty easy way to get taken prisoner. 45 is a starboard wing hit. Wing hit is a jet engine, but I don't think this one has a jet engine. No. So we get to treat that as minor damage. 64 is another weapons hit. 8 is port waist guns. We don't have port waist guns, so we get to treat that as minor damage. 62, Bombay hit again. This time that should mostly be a blank. 4, top turret, which was knocked out earlier. 16 is another nose hit. Nose hit. 5 is a windshield hit. Oh boy. Let's see what's happening on a windshield hit. Oop, not that chart. Let's see. Windshield. Windows. +1 landing roll for each hit up to a maximum of 2. Why did I think that the windshield is going to involve a potential roll on the I think there's a separate section for windows. Maybe not. But yeah, I feel like that's probably just a +1 landing roll. Let's see. I still want to see if there's a separate... It seems weird that they don't have the windshield separate here, but I'm not going to worry about that. Oh, looks like we should have rolled for some of our engine hits earlier. I think did we just have an engine hit? No, we didn't. I'm going to assume those are all minor damage then. The windshield, yeah, I don't see anything about that, so that's just a +1 landing roll on the windshield. 41 is another electronics hit. Five is knocking out the transponder again, but that already got knocked out. Next hit, 65, is another airframe hit. Yeah, this is going real sideways real quick, as you can probably imagine. 36 is another Bombay hit. Five is the rubber raft, so it's going to make it even harder to survive if we have to bail out over water. Yeah, water bailout roll is a -4 die roll modifier. If we have to bail out over water, we're dead. Let's just call that like it is right now. Why am I not seeing that we have why am I not seeing the rafts on here? Maybe we don't have rafts. Whatever. I've got it noted on here anyway. 13 is another starboard wing hit. Which is knocking out a jet engine, but since we don't have jet engines, that's minor damage. 56 is a weapons hit. Eight is port waste, which again, we don't have port waste, so we get to treat that as minor damage. And finally, after all of that, 13 is another starboard wing hit. 10 is a wing root hit. So starboard wing root got knocked out. Which we need a 1 unit chit for that. And I think given the way that this thing is... Yeah, I think the way that we're going to... Well, we're not forced to bail out yet. We're not in real good shape either, though. So I think maybe that a bomber's forced down. So we could probably... what do I want to do here? I think we're going to try to turn... I think we're going to try to make our way back, even though our plane is most likely going to be Swiss cheese at this point. Here you got a 0%. Forced down after combat. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and roll for those engines. No, I'm not. I'm not going to worry about that. We'll move into Zone 5 and see what we can do for an encounter here. I almost hope something will force us down, though, for a mercy killing at this point. So Zone 5 is a 9. That's 2 more P-80s. Jeez Louise. So we'll bring the position chart back in shot. And we'll see where the first one's coming at us. Coming at us from approach 1 level. So 1 level. And the other one coming at us from approach 8 level. Is there anything we can do about either? Actually, I think there is. We can go tail guns at the one coming at us from approach 8, and nose guns with the one at us from approach 1. So we're going, let's see, approach 1 needs a 6, and this one needs a 4 to 6. So let's see what we get up to here. So we need so on the one from approach 1, we need a 6 on that one. So we need a 6 on the white die, and it's only got attack power 3. Actually, it's got attack power, attack power 3. Right? Yes. Alright, that won't be a hit anyway. Now for the one over at approach 8, that's tail guns. Oh, just sent the chit flying. Hold on. That one also misses. The only consolation is, as hard as it is for us to hit, it's also as hard for them to hit. So we're looking at this one first, no hit there. And then looking at the one coming at us from 6 o'clock level, that one needs a 4 to 6. Which it gets the 6 and it gets 4 hits. Let's see how bad this is going to be. An 11 is a crew injury. Uh-oh. Crew injury. It's affecting Boxcars as the co-pilot. Co-pilot is light wound. He'll walk it off. Next hit. 33 is an airframe hit. And the last hit from that group, 62, is another Bombay hit. They like hitting us in the Bombay in this mission. 6, thankfully, is minor damage, though, as if we didn't have enough problems on our hands tonight. So 1 low or 1 level, 8 level. So we'll bring in, everybody's going to move into medium range. Alright, so nose guns is going to lose an ammo. We need a 2-chit for that. And then we'll take the ammo away from the tail gun at the same time. That way I don't forget. We'll look at the approach 1 first. That one needs a 6 to hit, which that is not. And then the tail guns need a 4 to 6 to hit, which that is, and that one gets destroyed. So that's mostly nothing at this point. The plane is still basically a write-off at this point. I think the technicians who care for these birds are probably going to take one look at it and go, how on earth did you get this thing back here? Fortunately, the P-80 needs a 6 in this case, which it gets, and it gets 4 hits. Fantastic. 54 is minor damage, though. 42 is a port wing hit. Eight is a port flap. Third hit. 33 is another airframe hit. Excuse me. And the last hit, 53 minor damage. Now it'll close into close range, where we need a 6 once again to hit it. Which that is most definitely not a 6. As for theirs, nope, they miss as well. Which means they fly off, but they've definitely done more damage to us than we did to them. And now Zone 4 is going to be trouble, because we're almost certainly going to be over water if we have to try to bail out. Which our chances of surviving a water bailout are somewhere between slim and none, I would say. Especially with all the negative modifiers we've accumulated on this mission. A 5 is 2 more P-80s. I don't know why I expected anything else. Of course they smell blood, and of course they're going to try to put this thing, they're going to try to put me down. Let's see, the first P-80 is coming at us from approach 5 high. So we'll go 5. And I'm pretty sure from approach 5 high, we're probably a sitting duck. All I've got left is the tail guns, the nose guns, and the ventral turret. The ventral turret can't hit it, and the nose and tail guns can't either. So yeah, we're a sitting duck on that one. As for the other one, coming at us from approach 2 high, which that one we can at least hit with the nose guns. That's not nothing. Unfortunately, from approach 2, we need a 6 to hit that. So yeah, I'll assign the nose guns to go at that P-80, but again, we're a sitting duck for this one, so we'll roll the attack on the one coming at us from approach 2. Need a 6 to hit it, which we do get, but unfortunately the nose guns have a power of a 3, so we go down to the nearest 1, which is a 2, so he'll be damaged, but he will break off the attack. He'll break off after this attack. So we'll roll for his attack first. Also needs a 6 to hit, which he won't get. As for the one coming at us from approach 5, needs a 5 or a 6 to hit. Come here. Which that is also not. So this one will break off, and we're a sitting duck for that one. Again, needs a 5 or a 6, which it will not get. Closing into medium range. And closing into close range. It will get 3 hits this time, so it'll do some damage on the way. We'll see how much damage it does though. 56 is a weapons hit. Nine will knock out starboard waist, but we don't have starboard waist. 25 is Bombay again. Man. These guys have liked going after the Bombay tonight, I'll tell you what. 10 is Chaff Dispenser. Well, now that the Chaff Dispenser, now that we've launched the leaflets, now we don't care about those. 44 is another weapons hit. And the nose guns are out. Fantastic. Just what I wanted to see. We're defenseless. We're all but defenseless at this point, I would say. We're not quite just defenseless, but we're not far from being defenseless, let's be honest. Although fortunately we are into zone 3, so we're at least going to pick up some friendly cover. I'd love for these both to be no encounters though. A 4 is of course 2 F8F Bearcats. So we'll bring the map back in. We'll see where they're coming at us from. One is coming at us from approach 9, vertical climb. The other one is coming at us from approach 6, level. I'll get a level chit out for that one, and then we'll see if our buddies in the Luftwaffe are going to give us any help on this. So we're in zone 3, which means 1 to 3, we get to remove an American fighter. Which we will. I'm going to remove... Let's see, that's approach 9, which we can go after that with the ventral turret. So I'm going to take out this F8F. The reason I'm going after that one is because I only have 1 round with the one at vertical climb. So hopefully I can use that to get out of trouble. So we will aim the ventral turret because that's the only thing we can at that one. From vertical climb, we need a 5 or a 6 to hit it. Which we don't get. But thankfully they only have 1 shot at this as well. They also need a 5 or a 6 to hit us. Which they get, so they get their random package. Which their package is random wing, airframe, crew, Bombay, electronics, and a random hit. So we'll deal with the wing first. Wing is a port wing hit. 10 is another wing root. So, port wing root. Then another airframe hit. There we are. Crew hit. Where are we impacting this time? 6 is a random gunner. We have ventral or tail, so that'll be odds ventral, even tail. Odds ventral gunner. Ventral gunner has I believe that's a serious wound, right? Yep, serious wound. Yowza. See, ventral gunner with a serious wound. Then another Bombay hit. 4 is the top turret, but that's already been, that was knocked out a long time ago. Electronics. 10 is knocking out the radar. That seems like more trouble that we didn't particularly need on this mission. Let's see, radar is down here. BG-245 radar. If hit, fighters fire first at long range. Oh, fantastic. And then our random hit. 44 is another weapons hit. Five is the top aft turret, which we don't have. So that's minor damage. And that's it for that. We're going to get the F8F out of shot. We won't go too far with the position chart, because I have a feeling we're going to be needing that again. We are in Zone 2. 10. 2 more F8Fs. At least now we've got better fighter cover. So we'll grab the F8Fs again. And we'll see where they're coming at us. First one is coming at us from approach 8 high. Approach 8 high, and the other one is coming at us from approach 3 high. And I'm pretty sure we're going to end up being sitting ducks for both of these, but let's see if our Luftwaffe buddies give us any help this time. They do in Zone 2, yes. They do give us help. The question is, which one do we want to go after? Actually, 3 high would be over here. So let's see what we can hit. The nose guns are history, so we can't touch that one. The ventral turret wouldn't be able to go after this one, whereas the tail guns can at least go after this one. So we're going to drive off the one on, we're going to have them drive off the one on approach 3. And actually, since the radar got hit, the F8F is going to fire first. And from approach 8, they need a 4 to 6 to hit. The only consolation there is so do we. Unfortunately, they'll get it and they'll land 5 hits. Let's see how bad this is going to be. 64, weapons hit again. They seem to like not hitting the Bombay and the weapons tonight. Let's see, 5 is the top aft turret, which we don't have. 52 is another airframe hit. Yikes. 34 is a nose hit. That'll send us into the subchart. 10 is the navigator. Navigator has a potential wound. 6, I'm pretty sure means he's just... Yep, 6 means he's KIA. Yowza. Navigator's probably going to make it harder to get home. Yep. Well, no, a bomb run actually is going to be more difficult, but in this case we're already done with our bomb run. 53 is minor damage. And our last hit, 13 is a starboard wing hit. Let's see what that translates to. 7 is minor damage. Now we get to fire with the... I think I forgot to allocate the tail guns. But that's what we'll be using to fire here. And now we get to fire. We'll get to fire like normal in subsequent rounds. We won't hit him this time. So the tail guns at medium range with this plane. That'll be a miss because, again, our gunners can't shoot straight to save their lives. Probably getting chewed out when they get back to base. Their gunners, however, are doing quite good work tonight. As that's another hit for them, and they're scoring 5 more hits. I'm pretty sure the only way this bomber's gonna make it home is with good intentions. Is by the power of good intentions. 26 is another weapons hit, which is probably gonna be another minor damage. Port waste, which once again we don't have port waste. 33 is an airframe hit. Yikes. We're going to need something else to mark that with, I think. Well, let's start using ammo chits at this point. Because we've got so many hits on this plane, it's basically Swiss cheese. 54 minor damage. 55 is another airframe hit. So we can still lose this plane close to home. And their last hit from medium range, 54 is minor damage. Right, tail guns, close range. Up. Flip, there we go. No! Let's hope they're able to... Let's hope... Okay, thankfully they actually missed this time, which means they'll nope out, but we've got our Swiss cheese plane that we're going to be trying to land under a lot of trouble. So let's put that there for the time being. Put that back here. And now we've got it. Now we're in zone 1. So now we're trying to... So now we're going to get ready to roll for landing. First, we need to roll a d10 for the weather. 4 is at least it's good weather, so that's something. Now, we need to figure out what all our modifiers are trying to put this thing down on the ground. Let's see, we're not conducting... I'm even going to note all of these. So we've got... Somehow the landing gear didn't get damaged, but we did have something related to the landing gear that did get damaged. Oh yes, it was the B-125 landing receiver. So that just loses us the -1 die roll for that. Let's see. There was something else that was that was screwing around with our landing modifier. I know we had water rafts that would cause us problems if we tried to bail. We had to bail out over water. And I thought I noted something that was going to cause problems on... Oh, the windshield's a +1 landing roll. So we want to roll... Right, +1 there. So we've got at least a +1. I felt like we had more than that, though. Something about the landing aid that got knocked out. Blind landing receiver. Somehow I think after all of that, I think we've got only a... I think after all of that, we've got only a +1 on the landing modifier. Don't ask me how after all that damage we took. But it's only a +1. So it's a 2d6 roll. (10 + 1 is 11). So after all of that, we still have a good landing. And with all the damage that we took on this mission, I'm pretty sure our bomber is just a total write-off at this point. I would be stunned if it's not a total write-off. Yeah. So we're going to end up with a... Yeah, we took 8, 9, 10, 11. We took way more than 13 hits. So the aircraft is going to be written off. And it's going to be and we're not going to lose a sortie. But we pick up... I think we pick up... Do we pick up an experience now? Or... I think we pick up an experience at every 4 sorties, which we are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we haven't picked up another experience point yet. We'll pick that up on our next sortie, though. But that will do it for this playthrough of Amerika Bomber, Evil Queen of the Skies. Whew! Whoa! That was quite the brutal mission, to put it mildly. Definitely really enjoy the narrative that this game brings out. Plus, I really like the theme of I like the theme and the alternate history that it gives you. So it's kind of that what if aspect of what if the Germans had actually won the war in Europe and turned their attention to the United States. What would some of their strategy have looked like? So I do like that narrative aspect of it. But let's go ahead and wrap this video up. So Wednesday, we are starting Christmas in Arkham, as Jester will be live on the channel Wednesday night, as we will be starting off Group 1 in the Fate of the Elder Gods tournament. Group 1, I will look that up while I plug everything else that's coming on the channel. Saturday, Mystical Munchies will conclude out of the unofficial Harry Potter cookbook with the dessert, with the dessert, as we'll be making any nut brittle. On Sunday next week, we'll be starting the campaign proper, as once again Jester will be live on the channel, as we play Eldritch Horror. Group 3 will feature all ancient ones that have previously been finalists, I think. Actually, I take that back. We've got one ancient one in there that has never been a finalist. Cthulhu, Ithaca, or Cthulhu, Atlak Naka, and Ithaca. Cthulhu's the one who has never been a finalist in the Fate of the Elder Gods tournament. We'll see if he can change his luck on Wednesday night. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.